working? I think it's working. I think it's working. Oh my gosh. Okay. Maybe this is working. I think you guys can see me now. Can you see me? Oh, hold on. I'm looking for my phone to see if I can see this. Okay, okay. This looks promising. Oh wait, we need to fix the camera a bit. Okay, can you see my head now? Oh my gosh, this has been a disaster, but it's okay. Oh, yay! Okay, so I had to fix the camera, and the camera wasn't working because last time we were having issues with my phone, and so I was like, oh, I'll just use my computer this time. But now we're having issues with my computer, but I can see through here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so sorry guys, like this has been a disaster, but I can see all your comments on here though, because I had to flip my computer around, so my computer screen's looking like that way, and then I can't see it from here. So if I'm looking at my phone, it's so I can see what your guys' comments are. Oh my gosh, so sorry for the delay. But anyways, hi guys, how's it going? I'm all flustered now, because I was like, oh no, I said I would be live, but I'm not. But anyways, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the chat down below, and I'll try to answer them. But no chameleons this time, because it's getting close to bedtime for them. So they're in their sleepy spot. So usually I try to have a chameleon out for my live streams, but not this time. But I just wanted to celebrate. So today is 1 year since I posted my very first YouTube video, which is kind of crazy, and I'm so excited you guys are tuning in. I wish I had balloons in a piece of cake or something like that, but we'll just have to make do. I have some water. That's about as exciting as it's gonna get. But any hoozles, let's see, does anyone have any questions in the chat? Hey Mason, nice to see you. Blueberry Studios, what's up? You're blowing up my comment section as of late. Spencer asked, have you ever quarantined your lizards? If so, how did you do it? Quarantining chameleons is a little tricky just because they have screen enclosures. Most people, when they quarantine their lizards, put them in a plastic tub or something like that, you know? So that's a little difficult to do with chameleons. But if you can keep them in a separate room and keep their enclosure as simple as possible to make sure they're pooping and eating and nothing looks odd, then that's about as much as you can do quarantining chameleons. What's the best way to hold up sticks without having dragon ledges? Oh, good question. I'm going to make a video about this, but so obviously I use dragon string ledges. They're amazing. But what other people will do is they'll take thumbtacks on either side of the branch. So pretend this is the screen sides. You'll have a branch going across and then put a thumbtack and a thumbtack, and you can hold them that way. Or some people will use fishing line. But let me know if you guys have ideas on how you put up your branches. Give this person some ideas. At what time do you put your chameleons to sleep? The evening, usually. I just upgraded my veil to a new enclosure. As she was outgrowing the one we had, I'm using live plants and I'm worried we overcrowded the enclosure. We have 3 plants in there. Is that a thing? No, I don't think there's such a thing as too many plants, and definitely 3 is not a lot. I think I have in Luna's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 in Luna's enclosure behind me. So more plants, the merrier, especially if they're live plants. Imagine these guys live in the rainforest, right? So they're used to tons of branches and plants. I'm sorry it didn't work the first time. Yeah, you and me both, Carrie. That was a disaster. This is my third attempt at streaming, so hopefully people on the other stream will come over to this one. Which chameleon is your favorite? You can't ask me to pick favorites, but it's Neptune. Don't tell Paul and Luna, but everyone knows firstborn are the favorites. I'm getting a chameleon in 2 weeks. Have spent months of prep. I'm really excited. Any suggestions on how to get home? Also, what background did you use? A good way to transport chameleons is with a stick in a box and just make sure it's dark in there. If it's dark, a chameleon will just like go to sleep, and that's a really great way to transport them. That's if you're like driving to pick up your chameleon. Overnight shipping is a great option. And I got my background from petbackdrops.com. You can check out the link in one of my videos. I have a baby chameleon. He keeps climbing the top of the screen to get to the UVB. I have proper UVB and I don't want him to get burnt. What do I do? Oh no. Okay, so Tess, what I would do is probably raise your branch so it's closer to the UVB. I don't know how far away it is now, but maybe try getting it closer. My zoo says, hi, what's up? Thoughts on buying reptiles online. So I've never done this. I've bought all of my reptiles from either local stores or expos or things like that. But as long as they're a good, reputable breeder, they check what your weather is before they ship your reptile or chameleon, whatever it is. Like if it's 100 degrees where you live and then the breeder doesn't bother to ask, hey, what's the temperature where you are? Or it's like 12 degrees below freezing or something like that, like probably not a good breeder. But overnight shipping is a great option. And I mean, that's how people ship reptiles, you know, to get them from Madagascar to over here. Let's see. Carrie says, I love your videos. Thank you so much. Elizabeth asks, are BSFL a good daily feeder plus treats trying to avoid crickets and roaches? So the only thing, so black soldier fly larvae or calci worms or phoenix worms, all the same thing, just different names. They're great feeders because they're high in calcium, but what's awesome about crickets and roaches is that they're high in protein and have the exoskeleton. So a black soldier fly larvae is considered a soft-bodied feeder because they're nice and squishy, whereas crickets and roaches have the exoskeleton. So you should probably pick one or the other. I don't know of any other bugs like locusts, but like those also fit in the cricket family. So I'd pick one or the two, like a primary soft body feeder and a primary hard body feeder. That's what I do. Sorry, can't really get away without doing that because they're high in protein, right? Explain vet visits. There are be more specific. Vet visits are very complicated, hence why I haven't made a video about that yet. I have 11 live plants in line. Oh my gosh, that's so many. Are you planning to get another chameleon? No, probably not. As you can see, like I have lots of enclosures back here. I already have 3 chameleons in a 1-bedroom apartment. If I were to get more chameleons, they would be baby Apollo and Luna chameleons. Like if I bred them and have babies, that'll probably be how I end up with more chameleons. At least for now. You're the best. Thank you. Can we know your name? I feel weird calling you Gingero. Okay, so I'll briefly address this. So if you guys know, like I don't put any personal details about myself on my YouTube channel or platforms or anything like that. And that's just like for an internet safety thing. I know a lot of you guys mean well, but I've gotten some creepy messages as is. So I just try to limit as much personal information as I can out of like internet safety. So hopefully you can respect my decision in that. You know, plus I don't think you need to know, like, you know, I just talk about chameleons. Like you don't need to know anything about me. I have spray paint on my hands because I was spray painting my future DIY enclosure. I feel that. If you guys watched my how to build a chameleon enclosure video, I spray painted a bunch of the stuff in Luna's enclosure and my hands were green for like 2 weeks. I just walked around with green spray paint. What did you feed your baby chameleons while they were little? I know that you're against feeding crickets and I totally understand why, but while they're small, what would you recommend to feed? So bugs come in all different shapes and sizes, just mostly sizes, not really shapes. But like roaches, you can buy like extra small roaches. They're called nymphs, which is basically a baby roach. They're itty bitty. That's what I fed to Neptune. Or extra small superworms, extra small black soldier fly larvae. Yeah, the only thing I would not recommend feeding to a baby chameleon are hornworms, just because they get massive, like massive. And if you saw the video that I posted on Instagram of Neptune taking down that hornworm, you can see just how big they get. Mason says, how old should you be before you get a chameleon? Great question. An age that you can afford the cost of the chameleon and the responsibility of the chameleon. The biggest issues I see with kids who get chameleons is something will go wrong with their chameleon because one, they didn't have them set up correctly because of incorrect information or don't have the money. And then they have a sick chameleon that needs to go to the vet, and then their parents won't let them take them to the vet. You know, so whether that's by money or transportation, whatever the case may be, but you need to be in a position where you're able to afford the chameleon with your own money and not be dependent on someone else, in my opinion, to take care of them. Where did you get your thermometer and hygrometer? Because I can't find a reliable one. I got mine from Target. Yeah, it's just in like the camping section of Target. It's a dual temperature like thermometer and hygrometer. So any digital one should be fine. But yeah, I got mine from Target. How can I tell if the UVB bulb is working without spending $200 on a solar meter? The only way to know for certain is with the solar meter, but if you can research other people's enclosures and figure out the distance that they have from their branches and things like that, then you could do that. If you're talking about when to know to replace your UVB, then you just have to go on recommendations. And the recommendations are Repusuns get replaced every 6 months and Arcadias get replaced once a year, like once a year goes by. But if you had a solar meter, then you would be able to tell if you need to replace your bulb later on, which would actually save you money, which would actually probably give you a return on the investment of the solar meter. So you'd actually be saving money by buying the solar meter. So I'm a big proponent of buying solar meters. I have one, but I understand that they can cost just as much as the chameleon. But you know, your chameleon, let's just think about this. If your chameleon lives 5 to 7 years, and you have to replace your bulb, and a bulb is like $40, and you could have saved yourself $40 once a year for 5 years, right? Then the solar meter pays for itself. Would you consider getting a carpet chameleon? Yes, they are on my list of chameleon species I would love to own one day. Carpet chameleon, Meller's chameleon. I would love to have an Umbanja panther chameleon. Maybe a female panther one day. So then I could have Venus and Neptune. Like, how cute would that be? What else? Yeah, those are like some top ones. Me and my sister are 7 and 8, and we watch your videos with our mom. Oh, awesome! Hi! I have a baby chameleon. Cool. What can I feed my baby chameleon other than fruit flies? He's 6 weeks. Ooh, 6 weeks. That's tiny. Not much. Oh, pinhead crickets. You do pinhead crickets. Those are tiny. 6 weeks is a very, very young chameleon. I'm surprised. Hey, Prince of Duval, what's up? It's been a hot minute. Sorry, I'm like getting through all these questions. How do you keep a diversity of feeders without them dying so soon, pupating, etc.? You're only feeding a few feeders every other day. The trick is buy more chameleons. But really, it's a lot easier for me to rotate feeders and have variety, having 3 chameleons than it was just having Neptune. I would say you could try buying in smaller quantities or breeding your own bugs, or just getting bugs that will pupate into flies or moths. That's always helpful. If you can't feed off like your waxworms fast enough or something like that, then you can feed them as wax moths. But yeah, that's what I do. Where's a good place to buy bugs in bulk? What do you mean by bulk? Because like bulk could be 5,000 crickets or like 500 crickets. Bulk is all relative. But the Chameleon Forums has a great, like people always ask me where to buy bugs, and I'm not like sponsored by anyone, but like Josh's Frogs, Dubia Roaches, Linda's Gone Buggy, drop your suggestions down. Where do you guys buy your bugs? Like help each other out, right? That would be helpful. But if you go into the chameleonforums.com, they have a sponsors page. All those places are legit, like tested, well true brands and companies that you can buy bugs from. How healthy are your chameleons? My chameleons are the epitome of health. Just kidding. But no, my guys are all super, super healthy. This is why I have a hard time filming like how to take care of a sick chameleon, chameleons with metabolic bone disease, chameleons with tail problems, tongue problems, eye problems, because none of my chameleons have those problems. And while I know a lot about them, like those issues, because I've done a lot of research and I've helped other keepers, I don't have any footage of a chameleon with metabolic bone disease because all of my guys are healthy because I take care of them correctly, right? Like, which is a good thing, but then it is also difficult when I'm trying to make content for people who are trying to, help out their sick chameleons. Do superworms turn into moths? No, they turn into beetles. Learned that the hard way one day. Okay. I'm moving soon. I've been researching about getting a panther chameleon, but the only problem I have is its enclosure. What size should I get? So I have a video about this. Check it out. But 2 feet long by 2 feet deep by 4 feet tall is the recommended size for a panther chameleon. I want to get a panther, but I can't find them that easily where I live, all female, and there's no one online, so I keep searching. Good luck. I only know of U.S. breeders in the United States. I know it's difficult to get chameleons overseas, so best of luck. Always great information. Thank you. I have an 8-month-old veil, made a custom enclosure out of hardwood, cloth, and wood, treated and weatherproofed. It's about 5 feet tall. That's awesome. Yeah, 5 feet tall is great. Just make sure it's at least 2 feet wide. So height is great for chameleons, but width is just as important because a chameleon climbs side to side more than like up and down, if that makes sense. I have a bearded dragon. Cool. Bearded dragons are completely different than chameleons, so keep doing your research. My baby chameleon will only eat crickets. Is it okay if I'm gut loading and supplementing? So variety is key. Like crickets are okay, but they're not like the best feeder. What you want is variety. So if your chameleon is only eating crickets and you're offering other types of bugs, what I would do is stop offering crickets because maybe they have a preference for those, and only offer them the other bugs to kind of get them onto those other bugs. Like if the crickets are candy and all these other bugs are broccoli, then you got to stop feeding your chameleon candy and start offering them broccoli. If that makes sense. Is Zoom In digital hygrometer any good? I'm gonna go with no. If it's the one that I'm thinking of, the one that has like the cord with like the thermometer and then the digital hygrometer, like anything that has Zoom In or any reptile brand on the product, you're paying more for. You can go to Target and get a digital hygrometer thermometer combo for like less than $10, right? You're going to pay more than that if you get a reptile branded one. It's just because you're paying for the name of it, but the product works just as well over at Target or Amazon, Walmart, wherever. A veil chameleon just bought a ReptiBreeze LED Deluxe. What's the best bulb and fixtures to use? So you want a heat bulb and a UVB bulb. Heat bulb, you just need a dome with wattage that gives you the correct temperatures. Check out my video. Like these are like 10-15 minute long videos that I made, so it's gonna be hard for me to cover this in a live stream. You're gonna need a heat bulb and you're gonna need a linear T5 high output UVB. They're listed in like my top 5 videos for new keepers playlist, so check those out and that'll help you know what to get. How much money do you think to get a good setup? So I also have a video about this. So generally in enclosure, we'll just do some like rough estimates. Okay, so general enclosure is around $100, $150. Heat bulb and domes probably like $20, $30. Probably $40 for the UVB fixture, $20 for the bulb. I don't know, you guys adding this up? You're gonna need some sort of hand bottle, like to spray bottle to spray it, or you need a misting system for about $100. You're gonna need branches, which you can get outside for free, so that's good. But you're gonna need some live plants, probably at like Home Depot or Lowe's, that are gonna be like $10, $15 each. You're gonna need a way to measure your temperature. I recommend a temperature gun. That's like $10. A hygrometer, that's like another $10. So yeah, not to mention you need proper supplements and gut loading in bugs, but just for the setup. I have no idea how much all that was, but I do have a video. What's the best UVB and fixtures to use? T5 high output, HO, linear UVB. I'll just say that always. I'll get that on a t-shirt. And then the next live stream, I'll wear it and I'm like, what UVB? And I'm like, T5 high output linear UVB. Because I feel like I say that in every video. I want to get a panther. Oh, you already said that comment. Do you buy bugs from different suppliers? I buy them from all over. I'm currently working my way through the sponsors list on Chameleon forums. So far I've tried out dbroaches.com and then I had to go to my local reptile shop because it was too hot to ship. Hey, you have so much energy. This is true. And fun fact, I don't drink coffee or caffeine, so this is just my personality. This is what water will get you. Okay, let's see. What else do you guys ask me? His name is Hannibal. Cute. Oh, I think this shepherd's guy, you watch a lot of my videos and comment on them, so hopefully your enclosure is all good to go. Can you explain bee pollen use? Okay, this is an interesting one. So bee pollen, which is actually sitting next to me, one second, is this, and I'll show you guys. It's like a powder. Can you see that? This is like very similar to your supplements, right? It's a nice powder. So there's some research on bee pollen, and I'm planning on making a video about the benefits of bee pollen. And I'm pretty excited because then I can say benefits of bee pollen. And the thought process behind it is, in the wild, chameleons are eating mostly flying bugs because they're up in the trees. They're not going to be eating roaches at the bottom. They're going to be eating all the flying bugs that live up here in the rainforest. So it's going to be like bees and wasps and moths and all these flying bugs that are pollinators, right? They're landing flower to flower, doing their buggy thing. So the idea is that in the wild, chameleons are naturally getting bee pollen, and so there would be these benefits from them ingesting bee pollen. So in captivity, we can use bee pollen. I got mine off Amazon because I know someone's going to ask me that. And I will use it for gut load for the bugs, and I will also lightly dust the bugs with the supplements when I feed them to my chameleons. Do you like pygmies? I like how tiny pygmies are, but they're kind of ugly. If I'm being honest, like when you think of a panther chameleon and then a pygmy chameleon, like it just looks like a leaf. But I love, love, love how tiny they are. Like it's mind-boggling. My chameleon's age is unknown. The estimate is 8 months to a year. When should I start feeding every other day? Right about now, usually around a year is every other day, if not once every 2 days, depending on the weight of your chameleon. Can we be friends? Yes, we're already friends. If you're watching my live stream, we're friends. How many superworms are too many to feed as a treat in 1 week, in your opinion? Depends how old they are. Adults, I would give Neptune probably no more than 2 supers a week. A baby chameleon, since I'm feeding them more often, maybe like 10 supers a week, something like that. But it depends how big they are, how old they are. Okay, let's see. Would you consider getting a carpet chameleon? Already answered that, yes. I'm just reading through. A lot of these are repeat questions. How old is Neptune? Neptune is 2 years old. So his gotcha day, is he 2? Yeah, 2. Yeah, his gotcha day is next week. September 5th is his gotcha day. Woo. Okay, what misting system do you recommend? Mist King misting system, always, 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 always. I love my Mist King. It's awesome. 10 out of 10, would recommend. Have you had any other reptiles, and when did you start getting into chameleons? I have a crested gecko. He sits over here. His name's Pluto. So I have 3 chameleons and a crested gecko. And I got Neptune like 2 years ago, right? Almost. This is gotcha day. So that's when I got into reptiles and into chameleons. Did you get the pics of my enclosure? I emailed you. Okay, so the best way to get a hold of me if you have questions, especially with pictures, is Instagram DMs. I know I have the neptunethechameleon@gmail.com, but honestly, I don't check that too often, mostly because I get blown up in my Instagram DMs and YouTube comments. So I will take a look, hopefully this week. But just so you guys know, I get blasted on the chameleon forums like DMs, Instagram comments, Instagram DMs. Like I have people offer to video call me. Like I try to help you guys as much as possible, but just know I'll get to you when I can. How many many insects do you feed a 4-month-old chameleon? I have been told around 10 to 12. Yeah, so Emily, like 10 to 15 is usually good. So 10 to 12 is totally fine. Fallon says, hi, what's up? You've been commenting on my videos. I see you. Do translucent veils have different care needs? No, they're identical to veils. It's just a coloration thing and lack of pigment. I need some serious help. My chameleon's eyes has a big problem and I don't know what to do. Okay, you're gonna have to be a little more specific about what the issue is, and then maybe I can offer you some advice. My chameleon has this scab thing on her crest. What should I do? It sounds like a thermal burn if it's a scab and it's on her crest. So if you guys don't know, chameleons will burn themselves, and I talk about this in my heat video. So a chameleon cannot register when things are too hot. Us as humans, we touch a hot stove and go, ow, you know, and we can tell that's hot. A chameleon doesn't do that. So if your basking bulb is too close or too hot, especially with a veiled chameleon, because they've got their big cast, they'll just sit there under the bulb, burning the top of their head, like unaware. It's not like they're like, oh, it's too hot, maybe I should. They don't do that. So we, as their keepers, have to make sure our bulbs aren't too hot, our branches aren't too close, and our chameleons aren't burning themselves. So it's very common for veiled chameleons to get thermal burns. So what you have to do is you have to go to an exotics vet, and they will prescribe you this special burn cream specific for reptiles, and that'll help heal that. And eventually the tissue will die off, and your chameleon will have a weird looking cast. But yeah, that's what happens. We have a pygmy and a carpet. Can any of them be cohab? Probably not, but just asking. Definitely not. Do not cohabitate chameleons. Please don't. How many bugs in a regular day do you feed? So for example, Neptune, all my chameleons got 5 dubia roaches and 5 waxworms today, but they're on the adult side, and they don't usually eat all the bugs that I offer to them. What is the theme of the Q&A I just got here? The theme is questions. Just ask me questions. I mean, hopefully chameleon related, so I can help you out, but what enclosure is Apollo going to be in? He's in this one right here. It's a 6 foot tall, 2 foot by 2 foot enclosure. Eventually, I'd love to get him into the Dragon Strand large atrium. That'll be 4 feet long, 4 feet tall, and 2 feet deep. But right now, he's just in the 6 foot tall enclosure. He has a lot more growing still to do. Okie dokie. You're popular, LOL. Thanks. It's funny because I love talking to you guys about chameleons and creating videos, because my friends in real life, they're like, oh yeah, chameleons are cool, but like, you guys get it, right? Like, look how crazy we are to love these like rainbow dragons. It's awesome. So I'm super excited to talk with you guys. Where do you get your enclosures from? I get them from Dragon Strand. These two, Neptune and Luna's, are Dragon Strand enclosures. So, and then this one is a custom build, and I didn't build it, so like people will ask me, but it has the 2 foot tall attachment on it. I just picked this up when I got Apollo Luna. Hey, I got a panther. He's only 3 months old, has lots of plants and branches, but only on the upper half. Is there anything I can do to stop him from going to the bottom? There shouldn't, like, I don't see why you would want to stop your chameleon from going to the bottom. What I do, I don't know, can you guys see the bottoms of these enclosures? But there's potted plants. So that's what I do to kind of fill in the bottom. And Neptune will go down the bottom. Like, all my chameleons will explore the bottom, but if you don't have anything for them to climb on, then that's when things get problematic. So add in some planted pots. He'll be super happy. Me, Jake Land. Oh my gosh! So this is the first live chat that I've implemented the super chat feature, which like you can donate or pay money or to the channel or whatever. So this is so exciting. Meet Jake Land is my very first super chat person. I don't know much about the feature, but it's very exciting. Hi. Okay. Love you, Queen. Thank you for all your helpful advice. You are so welcome. How much is the burn cream? I have no idea. Again, I've never had like issues with my chameleons, so I can only offer you what I know, but I don't know how much it is. Do you have mesh at the bottom of your enclosure for water? So interesting question. So Dragon Strand allows you the opportunity to have a PVC bottom or a screen bottom. So Neptune has PVC, and then Luna has screen. So I have one of each, actually. We are the peoples. When my chameleon blinks, he gets a large red bulge on the front side of his eye. His right eye is larger than his left. He does suffer from MBD, and he's the smallest. So Katrina, I would strongly recommend seeing an exotics vet. It sounds like there's a lot more going on here than just eye issues. Could be something in the eye, metabolic bone disease. While it can't be corrected, it can be like stopped, so to speak, paused, like from developing further. So make sure you have the correct UVB supplements, and then I would strongly encourage you to see an exotic vet. Is it recommended to feed your 4-month chameleon twice a day or once a day? So Jasmine, just once a day is fine for a 4-month and older chameleon. I have a video on how much to feed your chameleon, so that goes into more detail. Lepez Detri says, I was in the last chameleon closure review. Oh, awesome. So guys, let me know, would you want me to do another enclosure review video? I did one already, and I got so many submissions, I had to do a part 1 and part 2 because I tried to cover everyone who submitted their enclosure. If you're interested in me doing another one, more than happy to. I just want to make sure it's like content you guys are interested in. Which Dragon Strand cage do you recommend, screen or hybrid? Depends on your environment. If you live somewhere that's dry, then I would recommend a hybrid to help keep in that humidity. If you live somewhere that's already humid, then maybe the screen enclosure is a good way to go. It's your dog's birthday. Happy birthday to your dog. It's my YouTube channel's birthday, so hip hip hooray. Should you ever feed a chameleon mice or anoles? This is the video I just filmed. Hopefully it'll be out on Saturday, but it's what not to feed your chameleon. Because if you guys remember, I did that video on what to feed your chameleon, and in there I talk about how you shouldn't feed your chameleon mice or anoles. So there you go. Do you know how much the Dragon Strand atrium enclosure is? Right now it's sold out. I mean, the hybrid was like $300, so I have to imagine the atrium's more than that because it's bigger. So somewhere in there. Kiri, oh, you did super chat too. Oh my gosh, you guys are so generous. Like, I do this out of the goodness and love for chameleons, but it's always appreciated. So thank you so much. What species do you own other than chameleons? By the way, I love your channel. So I own a crested gecko. So 3 chameleons and a crested gecko. And we don't have the money. Okay. Do you believe cam feeder bundles on Josh's frogs is good? Okay, so I looked at chameleon feeder bundles before. It would be helpful if you said like what bugs were in it, but I'm pretty sure it comes with mealworms, which mealworms are not recommended for chameleons. If it has things like superworms, silkworms, dubia roaches, hornworms, waxworms, black soldier fly larvae, those are all good things. Yes, more enclosure reviews? Oh man. Oh man, look at all you, everyone who wants an enclosure review. You should react to chameleon TikToks. This is on my video idea, but I thought it was kind of dumb. So, okay, I have a TikTok account. If you guys don't know, Neptune the Chameleon, go check it out. I put like little videos on there a couple times a week. But there's tons of TikToks, like chameleon TikToks, and some of them are good and some of them are bad. And I thought it might be fun to do like a reaction video to other people's chameleon TikToks. Am I crazy? Is that a bad idea? I don't know. Do you use visible lights in your enclosures besides UVB and basking lights? Yes, so in Luna's enclosure, I have the Jungle Dawn LED bar, which has been amazing. Up until I created her enclosure, I'd only been using UVB and heat for my plants, but that bar is a game changer. Like, the plants are thriving, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy one for Neptune and Apollo to have some LED in there as well. How long have you had your gecko? Almost 2 years. January will be 2 years. So if we do a little bit of math, I got Neptune in September 2 years ago, and then a few months later I got Pluto in January. enclosure reviews part 3. Let's go. They're a lot of time. So as long as it's helpful for you guys, I'm more than willing to do the enclosure reviews. I just feel like it gets repetitive, right? Of like, you need the correct UVB. You need to add more sticks. Don't put bark chips at the bottom. So I feel like I end up saying the same thing over and over, but it's helpful for you guys. More than happy to. It's not dumb. You should make that video. Do you know snake discovery? Yes, I watch her videos. I don't have snakes, so most of them don't really apply to me as like a reptile keeper, but I do think it's cool. A TikTok reaction video would be so fun. Like more than happy to do one. I also have this other idea. You tell me if this is a good idea or bad idea of doing like a chameleon quiz. If you guys watch Go Herping on his channel, he did like the online quizzes and like his reaction to those. So I thought it might be fun to just like do a Google search of a chameleon quiz and like go through and try and answer the questions and see if I get them right or wrong. Or more interestingly, do they have the right information, right? Like, can chameleons camouflage, right? And I say no, but then they're like, yes, they actually can, you know, or something like that. I don't know, that might be interesting. Do you guys have any other video ideas? I mean, I have a list. I have a long list of video ideas, but yeah, that would be one. Will you be doing any collaboration videos with other YouTubers? So the thing is, like, I only have like 3,500 subscribers, which don't get me wrong, like, I feel like is a lot. But when you look at people like Snake Discovery who have millions, or like Go Herping who has hundreds of thousands, like, it's hard for me to do collabs with them because they have so many subscribers and they're just much bigger channels. Not to mention, I just do chameleon content, whereas a lot of other reptile YouTubers do like a bunch of different species. So like I would love to do collab videos at some point, but I feel like my channel needs to be bigger. That would be so cool. What about a video with examples of good cages? Less repetitive maybe. I already have a video of my own cage, if you want an example of a good one. So I did a cage tour of Neptune's cage, and I'm planning on doing a video of a cage tour of Luna's, because I built that one from scratch too. And I built hers a little differently than Neptune's, having had more experience between the two. So eventually I'll get to making that video. You should do a collab with Go Herping. Okay, if you guys can get me a collab with Go Herping, I'd be happy to. I don't think he's ever done a chameleon video. I don't think he's ever had a chameleon. I don't think so. That'd be cool though. I'd be down. Maybe make TikToks with our enclosure in the background while we're viewing it. I don't know, just a thought. That could be like the green screen feature on TikTok. That might be fun. Do you plan to breed your panther chameleons? I only have one panther chameleon. I just have Neptune, and I don't ever intend to breed Neptune. Fun fact, someone DM'd me on Instagram basically asking to pimp out Neptune. So they're like, oh my gosh, we love his yellows and like red bars and blah, blah, blah. And we have the perfect female for him. Like, you can just like come over, bring Neptune, like have him mate with our female, and we'll give you an egg in return. So like, I feel like I'm like pimping out my chameleon, right? Because he's just like gonna go mate with this female. But I have no intentions of breeding panther chameleons until I'm like old and retired and have nothing else to do with my time. Just because there's so many like panther breeders out there. So I don't really feel like there's a need for it. However, there aren't many people who are breeding Christophers. So what Apollo and Luna are. And Apollo and Luna are unrelated to all of the Christophers that are already in the United States. So they're new blood. So if I'm able to breed Apollo and Luna and then produce babies, then other breeders could buy those babies and keep the Christopher, you know, chameleon alive and going in captivity. Because if you don't have people breeding them, then like no one can buy them and they just kind of fizzle out. So, Cam trivia quiz. Yes, exactly. Hi, you said my enclosure had a red bulb, but it was a daylight one, but I added the branches you said. Yes, I saw your comment. From Cam's Chameleon Breeders, what's up? Speaking of good panther chameleon breeders, those guys know what's up. So They say, we love your videos. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. Hopefully, like when you guys get new keepers, hopefully like they can watch my videos and be off to a good start. OMG, you and Trisha from Reptilian Garden would be the best duo, hands down. So Trisha actually gave me a shout out. She did a chameleon enclosure review video and I submitted my enclosures. And so she gave me a shout out in her video. That was actually really cool. The best tuber in the world. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. From Cams, what's up? What did you build the cage out of? So I didn't build these from scratch. These are like Dragon Strand pre-made, you know, enclosures. I just assembled them. It's like buying IKEA furniture, right? Did you really build it? No, but like you kind of did, you know, kind of thing. Collab with Go Herping. I wish. My chameleon is asleep. She's so cute, adorable. My guys will be going to sleep soon. The next like hour or two, their lights will go off. The fact that you're solely a chameleon channel makes you special and stand out. You're so great. That's so sweet. Like, that's so sweet. So maybe I should give you guys like a history. So today's my 1 year YouTube anniversary, right? So maybe I could give you guys a like backstory on how I got my YouTube channel going. So if you guys don't know, I'm Gingero on the Chameleon forums, which is a great resource for chameleon information. So definitely go there. You're still researching and still learning or have questions. But I was on there almost every single day, like an hour or two, just typing away, typing away, answering people's questions or doing husbandry reviews. And it was the same thing: incorrect supplements, incorrect UVB, incorrect gut load, incorrect enclosure setup, incorrect misting schedules. And I'm just typing the same thing, novel after novel, paragraphs upon paragraphs of the same questions. And I'm like, you know what I should do? I should make a video. Because one, chameleons are visual, like they just are cool to look at. Two, that's way easier for me to explain how to do things than me like typing away at doing it. And three, then I can repurpose the content. So I don't have to sit there every time writing the same thing over and over. I can just drop a link to the video. Not to mention, YouTube is like the second largest search engine in the world. So how many keepers are coming to YouTube, you know, .com and being like chameleon supplements and then, you know, trying to find content that way. And there is chameleon content on YouTube, but I don't feel like there's a dedicated YouTube chameleon channel that specializes just in chameleons. It's usually reptile keepers who have multiple species and they happen to have a chameleon. So I wanted just like a one-stop shop for people to have chameleon content and accurate, correct chameleon info to kind of counteract the incorrect videos that are out there and the incorrect information that pet stores are giving new keepers. So that's why I created my YouTube channel. All started out from me being on the forums, typing away, and my hands getting tired from writing the same thing over and over again. So that's how that happened. If you were, not that you asked, but you were wondering how that happened. Okay, let's see. I'm about to pre-order a panther. They'll be ready in November. The breeder is asking $525 for a 3-month-old. Is that a reasonable price? I'm gonna go with no. If Ramcams is still on here, they can answer that too because they're a breeder. But I paid $275, I want to say, for a Neptune, and on average, I would say like $300 to $400 for like a premium panther, like male panther is what they're going for. I think $525 is overpriced, in my opinion. Do you like piebald veil chameleons? Depends on where their markings are. I love like when they have the translucent feet, but the casts kind of freak me out sometimes when they're like see-through casts, but that's just me. We definitely recommend your channel. Awesome. In colder countries, should I get a ventilated glass enclosure? Thanks for your amazing videos. So that would be a perfect example of when you should use a glass enclosure. If you live somewhere that's very, very cold or very, very dry, glass enclosures are an excellent choice. Just make sure it's a big enough glass enclosure because I've seen too many chameleons be stuffed in teeny tiny glass enclosures. So make sure it's at least like 36 inches, 48 inches, you know, like decent size enclosure. But I think glass can be successful. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Blueberry Studios. You're killing it in the live chat. I see you. Yeah, see, FrameCam says that sounds really high. Yeah, I think 525 is overpriced. You didn't finish my question. Yeah, feel free to re-ask it. No chameleons should be over $450. Depends on the chameleon, right? If you're buying a person's chameleon, you're paying over $450 for that. I love your videos. Thank you so much. You are the only person on YouTube that has truly helped me with everything I need to know. Oh, that's so sweet. Like, this is why I make my videos, you know, is for comments like that. There's a lot of bad info out there. Be careful. Oh yeah, for sure. Was a chameleon your first pet? If you exclude fish and dogs, then yes, a chameleon was my first reptile, which I think I want to do a video about that too, because a lot of people say chameleons should not be your first reptile and that chameleons aren't beginner reptiles and things along those lines. And while I mostly agree with that, like a chameleon was my very first reptile. Neptune was my very first pet, and people told me like, hey, go get a crested gecko first, or hey, go get a leopard gecko or a bearded dragon first before getting a chameleon. But I was like, but I really, really, really want the chameleon. I don't really want the bearded dragon. So I just did a ton of research, right, and was able to set up a chameleon successfully, right? So as long as you do your research, then I don't think that's a problem. So I do want to do a video and go into more detail on that, but the issue is like most people set them up wrong. So that's the problem. I became an unexpected chameleon owners, and your videos are what saved me. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. She's so informative and gives us straight into the point answers. Yes, I try not to ramble in my videos. Live streams are a different story, but when I'm editing my videos, I try to be like very to the point and try not to waste anyone's time, just give you the answers. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I also try to explain why I give the recommendations or advice or suggestions that I do, and that's with the intention that you guys can fully understand how all this stuff works together. If I just told you you need this UVB and this supplement, but do you understand how they work together and why chameleons need UVB and why they need supplements? Because when things go wrong, if you can understand why, then you can understand how to correct it. But if you're just doing what someone else tells you to do without understanding it, then I don't think that puts you in a good position. So if at any time my videos leave questions or are still confusing, please ask me in the comments down below, and I'm happy to explain more or give you additional resources to help you learn more than happy to. I became an unexpected owner of a veiled and a panther. Your videos have helped a lot. Awesome to hear that. I feel like a lot of people just rescue chameleons from family members. That seems to be happening a lot. Should you get a chameleon at his babyhood or a teenagehood? The recommendation is at least 3 months old. What do you think about the Arcadia Earth Pro A multivitamin? I am still researching it. I'm still doing some information gathering from Bill Shan and some other resources on them, but I have no experience with them, so I currently don't feel comfortable recommending them to keepers. I wish I knew in person. Nobody I know really cares about chameleons. I need a friend like you to talk about them. Oh my gosh, just blow up people in this chat, hit them up, make some chameleon friends. I'm down. Okay, so we're getting close to an hour for this live stream. So if you have any last minute questions, leave them down below. Otherwise, we're gonna end things here soon. Is it okay to let him roam around my room? So yes, you can free range your chameleons. Just make sure it's supervised. Otherwise, you're going to end up having to watch mine what to do if you lose a chameleon video, which I hope you don't have to watch. So just make sure you're supervising them, and it's only for an hour or two a day, because they do need their UVB and heat and everything inside their cages. Where do you get your plant lights from? I got mine from reptilebasicsinc.com. They're the Jungle Dawn LEDs. You can pick them up from a few different places. Thoughts on CB Reptile? I bought my cage from their site and it was shipped in horrible condition. But they seem to be the only legit online store where we can buy a panther chameleon. Everyone else seems as though they're limited, sold out. So Framcams was just in this chat. They're a great panther chameleon breeder. Camouflage Creations is another great panther chameleon breeder. I don't think CB Reptiles is recommended for a breeder. So I would hold out and get from a quality breeder versus just getting what's available now. I have returned. Welcome back. Okay. Oh man. Let's see what else. My chameleon was my bucket list lizard. After surviving stage 2 lymphoma cancer, I commit 100%. Now I'm getting it with time to appreciate it. Awesome. Yes, I've seen you comment on my videos. I will take a look at your enclosure. I know you emailed me. Like, don't worry. I haven't forgotten. Your channel is so underrated. Well, man, blow it up. Share it with a bunch of people. Let's get 1 million subscribers. Yes, so yeah, Carolina Cams, Camouflage Creations, Frames Cams, all great breeders. I have never heard anything positive from CB Reptile. Personally, I've never bought from them, so I can't speak from my own experiences. That's just what I've heard from other keepers. Do you have a special carrier box to take Neptune to the vet? Yes, I do. It's I don't know, special carrier, but it's a doggy carrier that's like yay big, that's like mesh. You know, they would carry like a small dog in. So I just use that and then I'll put a towel over it and put a stick inside, and that's how I transport Neptune. I would love more feeder videos, feeder info, and detailed schedules. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I don't breed bugs, so if you're interested in breeding bugs, I can't help you with that, but I can help you with like how to take care of them. What's your next video about? What not to feed your chameleon. That's Saturday's video, so make sure you subscribe so you know when it goes live. Okay. Underground reptiles, good for a veiled chameleon. I've also not heard anything good from underground reptiles. So again, check out the other breeders mentioned above. Where do you buy your Arcadia bulls? Usually reptilebasicsinc.com is where I usually buy mine. Bye everyone. Can we talk on Instagram later? Yes, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm like happy to help you out there. Thanks for responding. Yeah, everyone's like signing off. So are there any other bug breeders? Yes, go to the chameleonforums.com and check out the sponsors page. There's tons and tons of bug breeders there. All right, well, I think I got to the bottom of the chat. So thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in for my 1-year YouTube anniversary. Hopefully this is helpful. Again, if you have questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I have a TikTok account now, so if you want to follow me there, by all means. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and thanks for tuning in. All right, I'm gonna attempt to end this live stream, so wish me luck. Bye, guys.